This bulletin is live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and also live on our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. President Hakainde Hichilema has reiterated his government's commitment to promoting a culture of hard work and productivity, saying deliberate efforts have been made to break the long-held belief that wealth can be created without effort. The head of state said the country is moving away from past tendencies where some people believed prosperity could be achieved without working hard. He emphasized that sustainable wealth creation requires discipline, innovation, and consistent effort from every citizen. President Hichilema was speaking in Monze district during the burial of his late uncle, Mr. Josiah Hamalambo. He described the late Mr. Hamalambo as a hardworking and principled family man who valued self-reliance and community development. The president said such values should be emulated by citizens as the nation works towards economic transformation. President Hichilema further called on Zambians to uphold unity, resilience, and a strong work ethic, noting that meaningful development can only be achieved through collective efforts.
Hamalambo represented discipline. Abana bagayarwa kumamanino mwagayana wabomba mwewo wewole kubandiga wawa mwagayana wabomba bagomen ngoba wankoba yarwa discipline. Hamalambo represented hard work. I know the country was degenerating into a perception that you can have a good life without working. That's a contradiction. It's not possible to have a good life without working, and that's what we're trying to do now, to correct that misnomer, misunderstanding that the country can be successful without hard work.
Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development Minister Charles Lubasi Milupi has expressed satisfaction with the progress made on the Chipata-Chadiza Road project in Eastern Province following an inspection of the ongoing construction works. Speaking during the site visit, Engineer Milupi commended the quality of workmanship and the pace at which the project is being implemented. The minister reiterated government's policy that all infrastructure projects must be delivered at the right cost, meet high quality standards, and be completed within the stipulated time frame. He described the Chipata-Chadiza Road as a strategic route that will play a vital role in unlocking economic potential in the region by facilitating trade and supporting various economic activities. Engineer Milupi emphasized that roads of this nature should be viewed as developmental corridors as they stimulate economic transformation and improve connectivity. He further revealed that upon completion of the project, government will intensify sensitization efforts aimed at attracting investment in key sectors such as agriculture, mining, and manufacturing. The minister noted that infrastructure development. The Zambia Police Service, through Tezi Police, has launched investigations into a suspected murder case in Tezi district. Confirming the development, Zambia Police Service Deputy Public Relations Officer Chipo Kaitisha says the police received a report from Osbert Mapani of Iteji district that Christabel Wulongo of the same district was allegedly murdered by her husband, KB Shalwendo of the same residence. Ms. Kaitisha says it is alleged that the deceased was struck on the back of the head with a wooden plank by her husband, resulting in her immediate death. Preliminary investigations indicate that on February 27, 2026, at around 0130 hours, information was received at Musungwa Palace suggesting that a woman had been murdered by her husband at Wasanga Market. Ms. Kaitisha says upon receiving the report, concerned persons rushed to the scene where Christabel Wulongo was found lying lifeless in the couple's family bar within Wasanga community. The body was immediately taken to Wasanga Clinic.
Preliminary investigations indicate that on February 27, 2026, at around 0130 hours, information was received at Musangwa Palace suggesting that a woman had been murdered by her husband at Basanga Market. Upon receiving the report, concerned persons rushed to the scene where Christabel Bulongo was found lying lifeless in the couple's family bar within Basanga Market. The body was immediately taken to Basanga Clinic, but together with her husband when a dispute arose. During the confrontation, the suspect allegedly struck his wife on the back of the head with a wooden plank, causing her to collapse and die instantly. Following the incident, the suspect fled the scene.
Luapula Province Permanent Secretary Prudence Chinamakangwa has renewed her call for investment in the province, urging both local and international investors to position themselves ahead of the Luapula Investment Expo 2026 scheduled for 20th to 24th April in Mansa. Mrs. Chinamakangwas made the appeal when she paid a courtesy call on Chief Mabumba at his palace in Mansa district. The expo, to be held under the theme Unlocking Luapula's Potential Investment Opportunities for Sustainable Economic Growth, is expected to be graced by President Hakainde Hichilema. The permanent secretary reviewed that engagement with potential investors, including one from the United States, highlighted the need for complementary investments such as international standard schools. Mrs. Chinamakangwa said the province is therefore encouraging investors not only in mining, energy, and agriculture, but also in the education sector to establish quality schools that will support growing business activity. She stressed that increased investment will complement government's reforms under the New Dawn administration, particularly the free education policy, which has seen over 2.3 million learners return to school countrywide since 2022.
Challenged by one investor who told me that all these things that you are talking about, one, I think we should work yes. When in terms of education, it's a quality education, international standard. I said, yeah, we have a number of schools, but maybe international standard, maybe not. So we want also people to come and set up good schools that all these investments we are talking about put together. With so many investors that we are going to receive in the province, they should not have trouble bringing their families to look here, their children to go to school. So we want investment in the population. We have to think of that.
And in other news trending this evening, the Zambia Police Service has recorded a tragic drowning incident in Samakarkata settlement of Kalomo district in southern province. Zambia's High Commissioner to Kenya, Alfred Musemuna, has commended Kenya for the significant strides it has made in digital transformation and education systems, urging a Zambian delegation currently on a study tour to maximize the learning opportunity and strengthen bilateral cooperation between the two countries. Up next, the business news.
From Radio Business News, we mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
Commerce, Trade and Industry Minister Chipoka Mlinga has encouraged every well-meaning Zambian to be part of the value chain in the economic development of the nation. Mr. Mlinga says Zambia is taking bold steps to accelerate economic growth by strengthening collaboration between government and the private sector. He noted that the president has established a public-private dialogue forum (PPDF) alongside a dedicated presidential delivery unit (PDU) designed to ensure that policies translate into tangible progress for citizens and businesses alike. The minister emphasized that government has already put in place key policies to support trade, investment, and industrial development, adding that the next phase calls for active participation from citizens, entrepreneurs, and stakeholders to ensure that these measures deliver maximum impact. He further added that through fostering inclusive dialogue and strengthening accountability, Zambia aims to unlock new opportunities for growth, job creation, and regional competitiveness. Ends the business news.
5FM Radio Business News. We mean business. Keep you current in commerce, trade, and industry, local and global. It's our business to keep you informed about business.
And in foreign news, Pakistan's defense minister has said the country is in open war with Afghanistan after Islamabad launched airstrikes on Kabul as part of a wave of attacks across the country. The strikes came after the Afghan Taliban announced a major offensive against Pakistani military posts near the border on Thursday night. The late attacks follow months of clashes between the two neighboring nations, despite agreeing to a fragile ceasefire in October. Last year's negotiations failed to reach a broader agreement for a complete end to hostilities, with both sides blaming each other for not engaging seriously with talks. And in sports news, the Footballers and Allied Workers Union of Zambia, FAUZ, has strongly condemned the acts of violence that took place at Nkoloma Stadium following the league match between Red Arrows and Power Dynamos. Football remains a powerful tool for unity, peace, and national pride. Incidents of violence, disorder, and misconduct undermine the very foundation of the sport and threaten the safety of players, officials, and supporters. Such behaviors has rather no place in the highly acclaimed Zambian football and contradicts the principles of respect, sportsmanship, and integrity that the game represents. FAO's General Secretary Joe Kawanda expressed deep disappointment over the unfortunate events and emphasized the urgent need to safeguard the welfare of players and the safety of the fans. Up next, the weather report.
Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chinika Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
Northwestern, Wapula, Mchinga, northern and southern provinces, including the northern parts of Copperbelt and eastern provinces, mainly cloudy, slightly windy and mild with isolated rain and occasional thunder. Western, Lusaka and central provinces, including the southern parts of Copperbelt and eastern provinces, partly cloudy, slightly windy, and mild with a chance of isolated rain. Ends our weather report, and that weather item brings us to the end of the news. But before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has reiterated his government's commitment to promoting a culture of hard work and productivity, saying deliberate efforts have been made to break the long-held belief that wealth can be created without effort. Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development Minister Charles Lubasi Milupi has expressed satisfaction with the progress made on the Chipata-Chadiza Road project in Eastern Province, following an inspection of the ongoing construction works. And finally, Pakistan's defense minister has said the country is in open war with Afghanistan after Islamabad launched airstrikes on Kabul as part of the attacks across the country. That's it. That ends our evening news. And of course, for more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the happy world of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie. Enjoy the rest of our programming. Thank you.